Hi. Salam alaikum. Can you guys hear me okay? Alhamdulillah. We'll give it a few minutes, see who joins us. But we're going to be talking about some positive stories and things to make you feel inspired at the beginning of the week to get you through. It could be a challenging week, so let's hear some positivity to try to get rid of all that negative stuff that the news likes to throw at us. Let's be a source of light, positivity. Let's give it a couple of minutes, see who will join us. Sister Nicola is going to be taking care of the comments. Please say hello to us. Let us know where you're watching from. My name is Tammy. I'm an American convert of about 5 years. I work here at aboutislam.net. Let us know who you are, where you're coming from. Okay, let me just check, make sure I can see my comments okay, so I can say hi. My screen is doing a little something funky. Oh, Salam alaikum, Maskab El Ansari. Oh, you're watching from Asia. Salam alaikum, brother. Hope you're well and weather's good there. Let's see. Okay. So today we have a few stories. The goal of this is every Monday we're going to do a live session. We're going to talk about positive news, inspiring things that are going on in the world, things that we should feel good about. There's way too much negativity, so we want to counterbalance that and talk about some good stuff. So, all the bad stuff, it can kind of cling on us and make us feel icky for the week. This is positive stuff, and we want to feel good and go out in the world feeling light and happy and alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah is not just a word, it's a feeling. Like, we want to feel alhamdulillah. Okay, so the first story that we are going to talk about today is a story that shows the generous nature of Muslims. Over 10 years ago, in Alabama, USA, which is the southern part of the states, several Muslim doctors decided, we see a need here for there's a lot of immigrants here that have no health care. They're sick. What do? Well, let's start a health clinic for free for immigrants, for the uninsured, regardless of whether you're white, black, brown, green, yellow. It doesn't matter what color. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, a Catholic, a Christian, a Jewish person, an atheist. If you need medical care, come into this clinic that is run by 16 Muslim doctors. The co-founder, his name is Talha Malik. He's an immigrant from Pakistan. He came to New York City in 2001 to study medicine, and he just saw this need, that there was a bunch of people that needed health care. So he goes to work. He works in a hospital or a doctor's office, but then after work, he goes to the Islamic Center, and for free, when he could be spending with his family, he is taking care of people. So God bless you. We hope you are rewarded in this lifetime and the next. For instance, Samina Tarwar is a Muslim Indian immigrant, and for years she had to rely solely on natural herbs and homeopathy stuff because she couldn't afford to go to the hospital, because in the United States you do not get, unless you have been in the States for 5 years legally, you do not get insurance. I think like refugees they can, but as far as immigrants, no. You need to be there for 5 years. So Samina didn't know what to do. She was taking turmeric and honey and aloe vera, trying to get to feel better for all of these things that really a doctor. So all of a sudden, she has this place at the Islamic Center. She can go. There's somebody that speaks Hindi, a doctor that can prescribe her medicine, and it is for free. Alhamdulillah. So we need more stories like that, and we hope that Allah blesses them. So thank you. Sister Nicola is working with me today by taking care of any comments I miss, and she'll post all the links to these stories so you can get more info about them in the comments. So please let us know where you're coming from, where you're watching from, how's the weather, say salam alaikum. Is this your first time on aboutislam.net's Facebook page? Do you like us all the time? Let us know what's going on with you. We're interested. We want to know, like, let's have a conversation. Okay, in case you're just arriving, I'm Tammy. Today is Positive News Monday, and we want to help you start your day right by filling your ears with some positive, good stories. The second story is one that might sound familiar, but it's another display of this man's generous nature. Most of you, if you are a football fan, you are familiar with Mohamed Salah. He is an Egyptian footballer who is doing big things in the Liverpool football club right now. He is very humble and generous, mashallah, and he is a devout Muslim that oftentimes when he gets a goal, he makes sujood after. It's hard not to like this brother. People have started calling him the Egyptian king. Well, last week during a match in which he scored 2 goals, mashallah, he noticed a young boy over in the stands, and the whole 90-minute match, this boy was holding up a sign, a cardboard sign that's saying, "Can I have your shirt, Mo Salah? Can I have your shirt?" So Mohamed Salah caught his eye, and very humbly, with his head down, he walked over to the boy after the match and gave him his shirt, and somebody had recorded it. I think a few of the fans recorded it. We have the video on our website, aboutislam.net. Sister Nicola will put the link down there, so you check it out. You can see the fan there. His generous nature has also been felt right in Egypt, in his home country. He has donated 30,000 euros to Egyptian veteran footballers who might have fallen on tough times. He also has donated, I just heard on the news a couple weeks ago, there was a boy in Upper Egypt who had made a shirt and wrote on the back Mo Salah with Mo Salah's number, and he wore it, he just wrote it with like marker, and he wore it every single day all around his village. And this Mohamed Salah actually heard this story and made sure that the boy got one of his shirts. So yeah. We appreciate you, brother, and we're praying for you to do big things for Egypt in the World Cup, inshallah. Let me just check the messages, see if there's anything that I have missed. I don't see any. Let's see. Okay, we have Andrew. Salam alaikum, Andrew. I often see comments from you on our Facebook page. Wa alaikum salam from the Smoky Mountains. I believe that is Colorado, perhaps? And then we have Shay Skaggs. She is from, I think, Missouri, and she's buried in the snow. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, and subhanallah. I miss the snow very, very much. So you can go out there and kiss the U.S. for me. I'm missing the U.S. Let's see, who else do we have here? Reuben Gaines. Salam alaikum, brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Shay Skaggs, it wasn't Missouri, it's Michigan. Okay, I wasn't sure what MI is. Michigan. I'm originally from New Hampshire, which is northeast in the United States, and we get lots of snow, and it's very cold. And Andrew Stephen Morgan, he says he's North Carolina on the Tennessee border, the southern states. I'm sure there's no snow down there. It's probably quite warm. I'm going to guess probably in Fahrenheit 70 degrees. Nadia. Hi, Nadia. Salam alaikum. Okay, so let's get back to some, see what else is going on. Let's see. Okay, I want to talk about Zahra Lari. At 12 years old, she watched the Disney movie Ice Princesses, and she just absolutely fell in love with figure skating. In that moment, she knew what she wanted to do. And although it wasn't going to be easy with her studies at school, every morning at 4:30, probably after she prayed Fajr, she went and practiced figure skating. But coming from a conservative Muslim country with a family that's very conservative, her father would not let her compete. So she would, during all the competitions, she would go and support all of her friends. And that's when her father, after a while, noticed the sheer joy and the pleasures that she got from the sport. So reluctantly and hesitantly at first, he gave permission for her to compete. And now, mashallah, years later, he is now her biggest fan. When we posted about her on social media, a few people mentioned that her costume, the costume that figure skaters wear, it's not very modest. Most figure skaters, they wear some see-through clothes, but Zahra has done a great job of covering her body. She makes sure all of her costumes is covering her skin, and she wears a scarf. She's actually the first figure skater to compete internationally wearing a scarf, mashallah. And let's face it, let's let Allah judge her, and we can just support her and hopefully she'll do big things. Unfortunately, she didn't make it to the Olympics this time, but her sheer determination, she's bound to make it in the future, inshallah. So we're rooting for you, Zahra. We hope you do big things. Sister Nicola has the link for that if you want to read more about her story. Okay, so I have to tell you about a new messaging app I downloaded 2 weeks ago, Telegram. I never even heard of it before, but somebody says, you should check out Telegram, so I downloaded it from the Android app. It's a messaging app that is really awesome. It has great groups that you can follow, like other Muslims, maybe Muslims in the States, Muslims from Asia, wherever you're from. It has great pages. It has really cool bots. Like I just found a bot that people that I follow on Instagram, anytime they post on Instagram, I will get a notification on my Telegram. So I don't even necessarily need to go onto Instagram. I can just check my Telegram and it pops up there. So we actually started a page, an aboutislam.net page on our Telegram channel where we don't like spam you and like put 20 articles out a day. On Telegram, we give like 2 or 3 like quotes and articles, and so you'll get a couple notifications, and they're just, oh yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, that's something positive. Thank you for sharing it. So Sister Nicola will put up the link to maybe join us there. I would say if you haven't tried Telegram before, try it for like a week. Inshallah, you'll fall in love with it as much as I did. I am a complete fan now. The stickers are phenomenal on there, and I tell all my family and friends, you need to try Telegram. So try that and join us and see if maybe you like it. So let's see here. Who did I miss? Thank you, Nadia. I'm happy to hear from you. Osama, walaikum salam. Brother Andrew, I am from the Lakes region in New Hampshire, actually in a place called Meredith. Right on Lake Winnipesaukee. It's the biggest lake in New Hampshire, and it's always beautiful and cold and amazing. Let's see here. Who else did I miss? Okay, I think I'm caught up on comments. Okay, so let's see here. What is the next story? I'm sorry about that. Oh, this is a really good story. I just read about this morning. So in Turkey, there is a group of Muslim men. They go out and they clean the streets. They take care of all the rubbish. And they've been noticing, like, people are throwing away books. I can't imagine. I love books. So what they're doing is a couple of the guys, they would take some of the books and they're like, you know what, I think my family would love to have a library of books in my home. I'll just start saving the books. 6,000 books later, 6,000, they've decided to start, pardon me, a community library. Because there was just so many books that they started a library for the whole community. And there's so many now. They have books on literature, books on scientific research, that they are now loaning them out to schools and prisons and educational programs. So This is a sign of reusing, repurposing. We need to be doing more of this. Recycle, reuse, and upcycle. So, for instance, my cupboard right now is completely full of glass jars. What do you do with glass jars? Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something, but I cannot throw them away. I have to repurpose them somehow. If you have a unique way of repurposing glass jars, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you do with glass jars. But yes, let's do that more. We don't need to keep filling our landfills full of junk. Let's repurpose like these brothers in Turkey did, mashallah. And the last story I want to bring you is a really nice story, and it's not just Muslims, it's a story for humanity. This one is really touching. Okay, so Brian Anderson, he was driving down a back road when he came across a Mercedes on the side of the road, and he noticed an older lady standing outside looking like she needed help. She actually looked terrified and cold. So he pulled his Pontiac in front of her car and he started walking towards her. She seriously looked so scared. She thought he looked scary, hungry, and poor. But then he spoke, and his words of kindness really surprised her. He said, "You look cold. Why don't you jump in the car and stay warm, and I will try to fix your car." So she sat down, and he walked around and noticed, oh, she only has a flat tire. But for an older woman, of course, this is a big deal. I mean, for me, a flat tire really freaks me out. So, it's raining. He gets back there to get the tire, and he gets down on his knees and skins his knuckles, but he's doing all of it. He changes her tire. She rolls down the window. She's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I don't know what would have happened without you." She puts the tire, he puts the tire in the back of the trunk, and he starts walking away. She keeps thanking him, and she says, "How much can I pay you?" She would have paid him anything. She was just so happy to be out of this situation. He says, "I didn't do this for the money. I did this just for good of, kindness." And she's like, "I'll pay you anything." And he's like, "No, if you insist on paying me, the next time you see someone in need, to give them the assistance they need, and to think of me and do goodness to people." So he waited for her to drive off, and he headed home feeling really good, like he did something good for someone, and he was feeling happy. So a few miles down the street, she is feeling tired. She still has about 30 miles left to get home, and she sees like a gas station that has like a little restaurant attached to it. So she says, "Maybe I'll go in and get something to drink and maybe a piece of pie or something." So she walks in, and a waitress comes over, and she hands her a clean towel, and she says, "I see that you're wet. Here's this towel. You want to dry yourself?" She says, "Oh, thank you so much." And she's looking at the waitress. She says, "Well," she doesn't say this out loud. She says, "I see that she's very far pregnant, maybe 8 or 9 months, and she still comes over to me with a smile on her face, and she's very pleasant." So the elderly lady, she orders some pie and some coffee, and the waitress comes over with her bill. The elderly lady hands her $100, and the waitress comes back, and the lady's gone. So the waitress is like, "Where did she go? I have all of her change for her." She's looking, and then all of a sudden she looks down, and she sees a napkin. And as she reads the napkin, tears come to her eyes, and on the napkin it says, "You don't owe me anything. I have been there too. Somebody once helped me out the way I'm helping you. If you really want to pay me back, here's what to do. Don't let this chain of love end with you." Under the napkin were 4 more $100 bills. Mashallah. She was so touched. She finished her shift. She wiped down the tables, filled the sugar in the ketchup containers, and she headed home. Exhausted, she's thinking, how did this lady know that me and my husband have really been struggling for money? The baby's coming, and we're really struggling. My husband is stressed out, and he's so nervous all the time about money. And she says, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, thank you, God, for, this lady that came in She climbs into her bed. Her husband's already in bed. And she rolls over to him, gives him a hug and a kiss on the cheek, and says, "Everything's going to be all right. I love you, Brian Anderson." Mashallah, mashallah. Brian Anderson is the one that helped the elderly woman. Of course, she didn't know that that was his wife at the diner. So, yes, what comes around goes around. If we want love, we need to give love. And I think that's what the moral of the story is be kind. Let's go out there this week and be kind to others. Be good to one another, not because we want a reward or any reason, just because it feels good and it makes other people happy. So thank you guys for joining us. I hope to see you all next week. Sister Nicola will be doing it next week. And I just want to say bye to anybody that I might have missed. Thank you, Nadia. Walaikum salam, Nadia. Bye, Brother Andrew. Hope to see you again. I'm sure we'll see you on your comments. Keep commenting. We love hearing from all of you guys. See you next week. Salam alaikum.